Good morning, everybody. Myself Sandhya Pandey from Jagran Public School, Noida. Students, today we will discuss tenses, past tense. Earlier in my previous window, I have discussed present tense, whole present tense, and now it's turn of past tense. So, before moving to past tense, students, what is, as I have described earlier, tenses as the form of the verb that gives the relation between time and action. And time is the duration of the work, and action is the work done. Tense gives the time when the action is done. So, present indefinite, present continuous, present perfect, continuous. We discussed it earlier. Now it's turn of past. Past tense. The past tense is a grammatical tense whose function is to place an action or situation in a past time. In languages which have a past tense, it thus provides a grammatical means of indicating that the event being referred to took place in the past. Examples of verbs in the past tense include the English verbs sang, went, and was. So, past tense students, if we are talking about its types, simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous tense. Simple past tense, here we can understand it from the example as it's given, that in simple past tense the verb is like that: I worked. In past continuous, I was working. Past perfect, I had worked. Past perfect continuous, I had been working. Now moving to the simple past tense or past indefinite tense. To indicate an action that happened in the past and to report completed actions. It is generally used often in recounts and narratives. For example, we closed shop at 8 p.m. She met me last year. She met me last year. What it's showing? It's showing that it is a recount. Okay? To indicate past habits or repeated events that are now over. In those days, my mother gave me some pocket money every day. Means it's indicating the past habits or repeated events that are now over. I always rode a bike to school when I was young. Means it was the past or repeated events that are now over. The actual, students, if we will talk about the third ways, the habitual past can also be expressed by using used to. Used to, we can use used to by using by we can say that the habitual past can also be expressed by using used to. She used to drink tea in the morning. My grandfather used to read a few chapters of the Gita every day. It was habitual past. It is a habit. Sometimes this tense is also used without an adverb of time. In such cases, the time may be either implied or indicated by the context. I learned Punjabi in Chandigarh. So, to indicate another action which happened in the middle of a longer action, past tense will be used. The light went out while I was watching my favorite TV serial. The light went out. What it's indicating, students? It's indicating that it's another action which happened in the middle of a longer action. Rules for affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Subject plus second form of the verb. I played football in the ground. She sang a song in the party. Rules for negative sentences. Subject plus did not. Now here we can in affirmative sentences, it was subject plus second form of the verb. I played football in the ground. So, in negative sentences, it became the subject plus did not plus first form of the verb. I did not attend the function. For an interrogative, the same thing will be applied. That did plus subject plus first form of the verb plus object. Did you play a game? So, these were affirmative, negative, and interrogative. So, let's talk about now another tense, that is past continuous tense. This tense is used in the following ways: to indicate an action that was happening at some time in the past. The time of action may or may not be indicated. So, let's understand from the simple example, students, that we were watching TV the whole evening. means it's indicating an action that was happening at some time in the past. We were watching TV the whole evening, and the time of action has not been discussed, has not been indicated. So it is that stating that it is indicating an action that was happening at some time in the past, and that a time of the action may not be indicated. So it is generally used with student always, continually, etc. for persistent habits in the past. He was always smoking. Means it's a persistent habit. The past continuous is also used for an action that was going on during a given period or at a period of time in the past. While Rohan was filling in the hole, his dog was digging another. Means at that time the past continuous is also used for an action that was going on during a given period or at a period of time in the past. Rohan was filling in the hole, his dog was digging another. So let's talk about students' affirmative, negative, and interrogative. So, what will be the structure for affirmative sentences, students? The structure will be as it is: singular subject plus was plus first form of verb plus ing. And for plural subject, in affirmative sentences only, were plural subject plus verb plus first form of the verb plus ing plus object. Now example, she was driving a car. It's with singular subject, but they were making a noise. It's with plural subject. With negative sentences, students, singular subject plus was not plus first form of the verb plus ing. Plural subject plus were not plus first form of the verb plus ing. She was not singing a song. They were not eating mangoes. This was first one was singular and next one was plural. And what about negative sentences? Was, were plus subject plus first form of the verb plus ing. Were you eating a mango? So these all were affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Now we'll talk about past perfect tense. Now past perfect tense, to indicate an action that was completed before a definite time or before another action that took place in the past. The first thing what I am trying to say, student, that is that to indicate an action that was completed before a definite time. It's indicate an action that was completed before a definite time or before another action that took place in the past. Manish reached here after you had gone. The patient had died before the doctor reached him. Means it indicate an action that was completed before a definite time or before another action that took place in the past. It indicates also desires in the past that have not been fulfilled. For example, I wish I had not wasted my time. Means it's indicating words, it's indicating desire which have not been fulfilled. I wish I had not wasted my time. It expresses those conditions of the past that were impossible to fulfill. If you have questioned him earlier, things would have improved. So this all were the conditions, students. The past perfect refers to at a time earlier than before now. It is used to make it clear that one event happened before another in the past. It does not matter which event is mentioned. First, the tense makes it clear which one happened first. So in this example, as it is given, John had gone out. When I arrived office, I had saved my document before the computer crashed. When they arrived, we had already started cooking. He was very tired because he had not slept well. In all these examples, students, event A is event that happened first and the event B is the second or the more recent event. So if we will talk about forming the past perfect, students, past perfect in affirmative, negative, and interrogative. The past perfect tense in English is composed of two parts. The past tense of the verb to have, had plus past participle of the main verb. So what will be the structure for affirmative sentence, students? The subject will be following. The structure will be following. Subject plus had plus third form of the verb. She had cooked the food. In this sentence, she is subject, had helping verb, cooked verb, third form of the verb, and the food is object. Rules for negative sentence: subject plus had not plus third form of the verb. They had not attended the function. They is subject, had not, that is for negative sentence it is using, attended, that is third form of the verb. Now interrogative. Had plus subject plus third form of the verb. Had she watched a movie? Why had you not gone to Delhi? This is for interrogative sentence. And to decide with past perfect students, it is given affirmative, negative and interrogative. From this example, we'll have an idea about affirmative, negative and interrogative of past perfect. That I had decided, I had not decided. Had I decided? You had decided. You had not decided. Had you decided? She had decided. She had not decided. Had she decided? We, first person, second person and third person. We had decided. We had not decided. Had we decided? They had decided. They had not decided. Had they decided? This all were with two decide and past perfect tense was used. Now last but not the least, student, past perfect continuous tense. So the past perfect continuous corresponds to the present perfect continuous, but with reference to a time earlier than before now. As with the present perfect continuous, we are more interested in the process. Had you been waiting long before the taxi arrived? We had been trying to open the door for 5 minutes when Jane found her key. It had been raining hard for several hours and the streets were very wet. This form is also used in students' reported speech. It is the equivalent of the past continuous and the present continuous tense in direct speech. Jane said, just please see the example, students. You will have an idea about that past perfect continuous tense. Jane said, I have been gardening all afternoon. Jane said she had been gardening all afternoon. When the police questioned him, John said, I was working late in the office that night. When the police questioned him, John told them they had been working late in the office that night. So students, this was for past perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous tense, it's also indicate an action which began in the past and continued up to a certain point of time in the past. When we met in Lucknow, she had been studying in City College for 3 years. At that time, he had been working in the company for 3 months. So this is for past perfect continuous. If we will talk about students, affirmative, negative and interrogative. What will be the structure for affirmative, negative and interrogative? Subject plus had been plus first form of the verb plus ing plus since and for. You had been suffering from fever since Tuesday. I had been studying for 3 hours. And with negative sentences, subject plus had not been plus first form of the verb plus ing plus since for. They had not been going to office since 5th of July. And then the interrogative sentences. Had plus subject plus been plus first form of the verb plus ing plus since for. So students, this was for interrogative students. And if we'll use question word, the question word had plus subject plus been plus first form of the verb plus ing plus since and for. Had you not been reading the book since morning? Where had he been playing since morning? So just please see the example. You'll get to buy. Past perfect continuous. I had been buying. I had not been buying. Had I been buying? You had been. You had not been. Had you been? These all are examples of students' past perfect continuous. She had been buying. She had not been buying. Had she buying? We had been buying. We had not been buying. Had we been buying? They had been. They had not been. They had they been. These all were to buy with present past perfect continuous tense. Here are the exercises, students, I have given. Just please do it properly. And if you are having any doubt regarding present and past, just let me know. Thank you so much for watching, students. Stay at home, stay safe. Have a nice day.